Hey guys, it's the Diesel, just walking you through my next Pokemon Platinum video. This is against Viral Download off Pokeladder, and this is Pokeladder's Homecoming battle, Tourney. So this is round 1, and it was no items at first round in the Tourney. So I lead off with Fort Dix, and I set up the Stealth Rocks, and I figured he's going to go for the Flamethrower because most Weezings pack it, and he does, and that's good because switching my Arcanine. And I switch out Arcanine, go back into Fort Dix, thinking that he would switch, make the whole, little double switcheroo. And he does, and he switches into Torkoal, and I was predicting like a fire-type move, but he goes for Curse. And that's good for me because, I mean, not good, that's good for him. But I start going for Calm Minds here, and he starts going for Curses. And I think now he figures that he's probably got to start attacking. So I just go for the Shadow Ball after one Calm Mind, and it almost KOs the Torkoal, and he goes to the Gyro Ball, and my Spirit Team's not fast at all, so it really doesn't do that much. And I just KO him with Shadow Ball, and he brings in the Lotions, Dry Skin, Parasect. I like that nickname, but I Shadow Ball him, and it does good damage, because I know Parasect's defenses are pretty poor. And he goes to the Spore, and I switch out and go into Fort Dix again as he switches out and goes into Dandelion. It's Credilli, and I just start setting up spikes now because I want to. And entry hazards do tend to rack up damage, and I do commend him. He didn't bring any OUs this round, and there was no cap. You could bring an entire team of OUs, so I figured he probably would bring a few OUs, so I just brought one, which is my my Fortress. But he actually doesn't, and I really commend him for that, for OUs.
So I did bring one. I know I really don't like bringing OUs, but I figured it would give me a shot. So I set up my spikes again, and he Sword Stanzas here. And before I just Toxic with Crobat, just to make sure that if he was a stalling one that I'd be able to, take him out Toxic. But yeah, he missed with his Rock Slide, and I just go for spikes again just because I really don't have another move to do. And yeah, the Toxic does take him out that turn. And he goes in the Weezing now, and I switch out Fort Dix, figuring he'd go for the Flamethrower again, and just to get an Intimidate just in case he decides to explode on my Arcanine. He'll probably still take me out, but give me a better shot. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting a switch, but he doesn't switch, and predicting maybe me to double switch back into my Fortress. But now he switches out and goes into Lotion, please. But he dies from the spikes, and I was gonna go for Fire Blast anyway. So yeah, he goes into his Espeon now, who gets hurt by the Stealth Rocks and spikes, and he goes for the Shadow Ball, and this Arcanine is pretty bulky. So I take that really well, and I go for the Fire Blast. Actually, this match I was thinking, I haven't lost a Pokemon yet. I really want to go for a 6-0. Because this is actually my first 6-0, I think, on my channel. He gets a special D-drop there, and it really sucks because I went for the Morning Sun. But I know after the Morning Sun health, this Psychic might kill me. So I switch out and go into Demon, just because I know the Psychic isn't going to affect me. And he goes to the Shadow Ball here. And that brings me down pretty low. I think I could probably take one more, which I think I do. And I survive like 12 health, wake up, and kill him with Shadow Ball. So yeah, that was really good. I'm still at 6 Pokemon, and he has 2 left. So he goes into Quarantine as Weezing, and I figure he's going to go for the Flamethrower one more time. So I go in the Lockjaw, and I do predict that right. I take the Flamethrower like a beast. And I go for Fire Blast just to finish off the Weezing. Or, yeah. So, the Weezing, I'd get a crit on Weezing, really didn't matter, because even if I didn't, he would have died to my next Fire Blast. And he goes into his Gardevoir now, and I go for Fire Blast on Gardevoir. And, I do a decent amount of damage and get the burn. And he goes for the Wish, just maybe trying to stall me out a little bit. And he goes to the Protect, and I really didn't see that coming because I didn't think he would do it, just because like he knows that the match is basically over. But he wishes and protects anyway. So right here, I just go for the Fire Blast again, just to rack up some damage.
thinking that maybe he'd attack, but he goes to the Wish again, and I know he's just going to protect again. So I switch out and I go into Vileplume because I want to bait him into attacking me, because I figure he's gonna attack, and the burn will slowly whittle him down, and that'll be enough health to take my Arcanine can take him out with a Fire Blast. So he goes to the Psychic, and this Vileplume is pretty bulky. I was hoping to hit Leech Seed, but I didn't. It doesn't really matter, because now I know he's going to go for the Psychic again to try and finish off my Vileplume. And I predict that and go into Lockjaw, which he does go for the Psychic. Really doesn't do that much to Lockjaw, and now the burn has hurt him to the point where my next Fire Blast will KO. So that was my first 6-0. Sorry, viral download, but great match. And I move on to round 2 in Pokeladder's Tourney. So wish me luck, guys, and rate, comment, sub. Thanks. Diesel out.